Voice in the wild, an industry, a business of revelations from paradise above. I always dreamed of receiving a message. The looks on their faces would be a delight to see, for the whole world would recognize me. Or perhaps more importantly, I could make them cry and beg for mercy. A brute force to bring understanding and submission of mind and will to a mind from above, on pilgrimage to change the world order. Smash minds like hammers so I can remold them into something new. Oh God, if you're real, please grant me this power. I shall have followers, and all my slaves of mind shall bow before my feet. You, Allah, are the one I want to meet, for only you can make a dream come true. Any dream should do. For this is the start of a brand new chapter of love for divine poetry. It's not wealth I'm after, but I'm afraid it is something more sinister. Religion is simply the franchise of superheroes of yesterday. What if I could be one of them? I must be important, for I've been created for great things. I cannot read, but my mind overflows with revelations from above, and money to blow in paradise. If we're a prophet man, oh Lord, you made many weak-minded people. I realize, of course, there's no shame to be a flaming idiot. But would it have been so terrible if I had a small group of disciples? If I were a prophet man, yibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-dum. All day long I'd sit on my bum, listening for revelatory whispers from above. I'd have a window to heaven, a place of importance in history. I'd sit here all day and unravel the mystery of stories told of the ancient times, and a new message for the hearts of today. Inspired by the sages of old, I could tell the world the visions I've seen. Visions of heaven, my darkest dreams. But for now I will sleep and dream of virgins in paradise, of the pleasure they will bring. But alas, I cannot read, but I can only dream of disciples following me in their thrones, shouting my name as a prophet, a sure guide, and all would know that I am a prophet man. I'd have a window to heaven, a place of importance in history. I'd sit here all day and unravel the mystery of stories told of the ancient times, and a new message for the hearts of today. Inspired by the sages of old, I could tell the world the visions I've seen. Visions of heaven, my darkest dreams. But for now I will sleep and dream of virgins in paradise, of the pleasure they will bring. But alas, I cannot read, but I can only dream of this. Putting my name as a prophet, a sure guide, and all would know that I am a prophet man.
Way back, many centuries ago, a long time after the Bible began, there lived an illiterate trader who we would know as Muhammad, but his wives and his crew liked to call him Mo. Muhammad was the founder of a whole new religion, thanks to the magical Baloney Sandwich. His first wife was Khadijah, oh, the lady who admired his skill. He couldn't read, he couldn't write, but he had a way with his silver tongue. She was really the instigator who convinced him he might be right. She saw a brave new future in him, and we all know the rest. The path of the prophet is one of pain, for the world would be furnished, forever changed. Shares journey into delusions. It really started here, a place where time's venom seeps down deep like a poison. No way to hide his newfound ambition. But one wasn't enough. Oh no, that wasn't enough for Mo. Oh, more wives were needed to complete the harem. For most there was a limit, for most it was haram, but not for Mo, the messenger of above. You see, if you own the universe, you can make the rules. Standards galore, always room to abrogate. Never a moment wasted, it was a tide of fate. More women came, and one young little girl. You see, Mo was a censored bleeper. Despicable was he, a monster in the flesh, a fact not all are blessed to see. Aisha on the younger side, an example for Muslim history. Sauda and Hafsa, and of course the wife of his son Zainab. Guidance he needed, but it was okay with Allah. Apparently, instead of an apology or admitting you're mistaken, a prophet's always got revelations to take consistency's place. One night Mo went into a deep dark cave, where he harbored thoughts in his mind, secret things he craved, a mad desire to hear a voice like in the old days, so that he could start his career and become a prophet man. Like dreams of sugar plums, he fell asleep in the cave. Excited feelings of prophethood danced all across his brain. But deep down there was another voice that gave him no explanation, only announced its presence with goosebumps and hair standing on end. But suddenly he rose up and made himself known, a force of pleasant darkness, a force from the void, and a power never known, a presence of a mysterious throne. But now came the voice, not like a wind, but like a raging guitar solo, a death of magnetic proportions, a highway to hell, a boiling of energy, an impossible control, to escape, to run, no way but home. Yabba dibba 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 dum. You now can be a prophet, man. You don't even have to work hard. Just listen to my voice and share it around. For you are a prophet now, a man of great power. And Muhammad was shocked, ran right out of that cave, fell at the feet of his wise wife, who encouraged him to go back and listen. For he, as she said, was a prophet. This is a great opportunity, a family business. For he definitely was not chatting with a demon, for he knew he had to believe Khadijah. This was the path, this was the way, for forever he would be the final prophet, or so he needed it to be.
In Mecca, a city of bustling voices, Mo had to share his new message for all those hell-bound pagans to hear, no matter if they could bear to hear. O Quraysh, listen up, for there be fires of hell awaiting you all. I am just a dreamer, just a prophet's man, here to save you from becoming crispy in hell. I have a message, even though I cannot read very well. Like a flash of lightning, and right on cue, the people laughed and went about their day, hoping this annoying man would go away. But his dreams compelled him, he had to seek the might that only poetry can bring. Words that would bounce off the page, words that would sing loudly, a burning in the bosom and a gentle silence that would follow, compelling the listener by a certain fever and a fear for what soon awaits the non-believer. Day by day, some unfortunate fish took the bait, hook, line, and sinker. As most poetry became better over time, his narrations were a sing-song from hell or heaven above. He wasn't quite sure, but who cares, because from there it was all quite the blur. A few new followers a day, until Mo had quite a throng backing him. He had a crew, and a little bit of power started to go to his head. Couldn't remember if he was telling the truth or not, but what did it matter? He had in him a desire for unhinged power, a future that would be filled with flowers to light the path of the rightly guided, a path of truth or mad desire. Honestly, it didn't matter which, for he was about to make Mecca his bitch, at his heel now biting. But what would unleash would make then regret all the times they said nasty things about his preaching, like, leave us alone, Mecca is our quiet home, stop disturbing the peace, for the heart is the strength of the world. But where there is no truth, there can be no hope.
As the preaching grew intolerable, hearing chants of hellfire on walking home from work, the intense persecution began for the Muslims, who even had to listen to those Meccans committing shirk. Mo was asked if they should draw their swords. Oh no, said Mo, not quite yet, for their time shall come. Don't you fret. For all criticism can only be from a jinn, no other reason. No complaint can be valid, for all the theological murmurings, they all are word salad. For this is the true example for the Ummah of the future. Patience itself waning in Mo's very heart, for little did he know centuries later tiny Tim would take his world apart piece by piece, not to reassemble but to leave in a trash heap, where that censored bleeper and old child abuses belong, in the trash heap of his history, for those not dumb enough to tell a vision from Gabriel or a vision vision of hell, its darkness seeps through like most bitter warnings. A pain in its blister, a boil on his back was his seal as a prophet. As a prophet, a claim as a badass, but really just bad poetry. For poetry always must ride on the truth. For if Moses met Mo anew, what he would rip a panic that increases. Unlike a sinking boat, a captain knows when it's time to abandon the ship. For if Moses met Mo, a new one he would rip. Revelations of convenience, not necessarily light from above, but words that embolden the darkness and help it to thrive. A panic that increases until it eats one alive. So as each day did pass, the annoyance did grow. At this time, you see, they had enough of Mo and his mindless repeating of gobbledygook. His poetry was getting epic and hit like a right hook. For poetry isn't forced, and neither is religion. Leaving it should be easy instead of off with your head.
For becoming a dupe of Mo, you were a slave through and through. For once you make the jump, there is no path, no ship to carry you home. A one-way trip and no way home. For hindsight was gone, and Mo's followers were now a throng. A song that is sung of a bridge forever burned. For truth in the void is a faith in itself. A path toward forever, we make the choice every day. For truth is discovered, not found in threats of hell. But grace comes to find you in its gentleness that swells and blows up forever until we hear its sweet tune. Come dance with me, starlight. Come hold me under the light of the moon. Come dance with me, starlight. Come hold me under the light of the moon. The ones who was gone, and Mo's followers were now a throng. The words were now a throng, a throng. For hindsight was gone, and Mo's followers were now a throng. A song that is sung of a bridge forever burned. For truth in a void is a faith in itself. A path toward forever, we make the choice every day. For truth is discovered, not found in threats of hell. But grace comes to find you in its gentleness that swells and blows up forever until we hear its sweet tune. Come dance with me, starlight. Come hold me under the light of the moon. Come dance with me, starlight. Come hold me under the light of the moon. Come dance with me, starlight. Come hold me under the light of the moon. Come dance with me, starlight. Come hold me under the light of the moon. And one day Mo somehow found a magical Technicolor Baloney Sandwich, the most amazing
one in town.
He took it and went about Mecca, parading it around,
Shoving it in the people's mouths
until they couldn't resist, but wanted as much as they could get. For this was the start. They had not seen anything yet. A contradiction of taste and true love at first bite. A magic that would greet them and lead them through the night. For this bologna sandwich, so juicy and so sweet, would help spread Muhammad's message to every soul he'd meet. A message of the sandwich spread across the lane. He wanted to share, so he passed it around, so everyone could get a taste of the most amazing sandwich in town. So juicy and so sweet, would help spread Muhammad's message to every soul he'd meet. A message of the sandwich spread across the lane. He wanted to share, so he passed it around, so everyone could get a taste of the most amazing sandwich in town. One day, Mo somehow found a magical Technicolor Baloney Sandwich, most amazing one in town. He took it and went about Mecca, parading it around, shoving it in the people's mouths till they couldn't resist, but wanted as much as they could get. For this was the start, they had not seen anything yet. A contradiction of taste and true love at first bite. A magic that would greet them and lead them through the night. For this bologna sandwich, so juicy and so sweet, would help spread Muhammad's message to every soul he'd meet. A message of the sandwich spread across the lane. He wanted to share, so he passed it around, so everyone could get a taste of the most amazing sandwich in town.
One day in Mecca, everything was business as usual. Visions and a message of hellfire from above. And so Mo just stood there, eyes open ablaze. No longer visions of hellfire, but instead the voice said Kumbaya, a message of coexist. To you be your God, and mine's now the same. He stood up to the Kaaba, he had struck a sweet deal, for no one could do it better than Muhammad, the final seal. He opened his mouth with a new message which the Quraysh would love to hear. For in this compromise deal, they'd have nothing to fear. Have you thought of Al-Lat, Al-Uzza and Manat? Well, you can pray to those guys, but your prayer will still reach Allah. The Quraysh thought to themselves as they jumped for joy, this is grand, for our gods now have a prophet's brand. All was happy and joyful at the news, until Gabriel stormed into the room, mad as hell at the fools. Have you lost your mind, Mo? You thought that was me? So Mo rushed back to the Kaaba's black stone. Oh no, listen up, that wasn't Gabriel, it simply wasn't true. Now back to the usual programming of fire and brimstone. Gone are the days of coexist, for that message was all wrong. You all should cease and desist. And there in the crowd was an unheard soul, Prophet Moses in disguise. Don't you get it? This man should be stoned. The prophet's message is consistent, the message should be true. If one day it's this and the next he says it's all wrong, we have a big problem. Don't follow the throng, follow the truth, even when the world is wrong. But they all mocked Moses and sent him away, for they would have none of it. They didn't care what he had to say. So Moses left with a final facepalm. He witnessed a tragedy, a story gone wrong.
the cover of night, in the midst of a pouring torrent of rain, won't let the throng. They followed him closely behind. They had to be sneaky, they could not make a sound, for they were now fleeing this Allah-forsaken town. They left no trace of their presence as they scuffled away, for the message was clear and had to be spread. If the world did not embrace his teachings, it would be better to end. War waits through words, and for the control of all minds, a future in the balance shall leave truth behind, in favor of a paradise that exists far away. Submit your today for a fairy tale tomorrow. Truth in its love follows, but fickle as the wind. Stays if uninvited, but only stays where it is nurtured. So that day Mecca was free of the hellfire preaching, a weight lifted off chest, and a return to quiet breathing. This Allah-forsaken town, they left no trace of their presence as they scuffled away, for the message was clear and had to be spread. If the world did not embrace his teachings, it would be better to end. War waits through words, and for the control of all minds, a future in the balance shall leave truth behind, in favor of a paradise that exists far away. Submit your today for a fairy tale tomorrow. Truth in its love follows, but fickle as the wind. It never stays if uninvited, but only stays where it is nurtured. So that day Mecca was free of the hellfire preaching, a weight lifted off chests, and a return to quiet breathing. A weight lifted off chests, and a return to quiet breathing. One day in Medina, the crew set up shop. A couple of herders were getting angsty. They wanted a change of tune, they wanted a different vibe, or rather something new. They came one day and approached Muhammad, can we leave? Is that cool with you? Mo sat them down, for they were in for a shock. A wide smile filled up Mo's face. You all can leave the club, that's fine, but there's something you should know what's on the line. If you leave, it will be without your head. You see, when you signed on, it was like a cockroach hotel. You all can check in, but you don't check out. It's more fun in here than it will ever be outside. When folks try to leave, we don't take it too lightly. You're safest with us, huddle up in this club, and always remember what's on the line. For the Technicolor Baloney Sandwich is our sure guide. And when they heard this, there was fear on their faces. I think we might just stay for one more day, for this doctrine kept the club light, a pack huddled tight, a fear that kept them stagnant and from sleeping at night. For this doctrine kept the club like a pack huddled tight, a fear that kept them stagnant and from sleeping at night.
they'd stepped into the lab, working on their time traveling van. Sam shouted out, "I think we cracked it, I think the job's done." David replied, "Oh yes, I think it's time for some fun. Let's travel in a blast to the past, back to Saudi Arabia. We'll tell Muhammad a thing or two, take him to school with the law of non-contradiction." So the two of them hopped into the time-traveling van, and this is where the true fun began. They caught up speeds at 85 miles per hour, sparks exploding in their flux capacitor. They crashed through bushes in the middle of Medina, surprised the goat herders, and popped out of the van, brushed sand off shoulders, and headed for the man. Muhammad had to know what they had in store, pointing out some contradictions. They walked up to him with all due respect. David held the Bible, Sam held the Quran. "Oh, how can it be? Read it right here. It says, go to the Bible to see if the Quran's words are true. The Bible contradicts you." Oh, what a conundrum for a man who can't read his revelations while he sits on his bum, words with no foundation. But machinations of the mind, how can you survive if your leader is blind? Take this offense too kindly, screamed out at them, and the stones started to fly. For this was the end of time-traveling fun. They ran back to van and fired it up, hoping to escape as the stones flew through the air. Suddenly they were back to the future, exasperated breaths. Sam and David couldn't stop laughing, and when David asked, "You wanna try it again?" "Sure thing," said Sam, "but doubtful we'll have much luck in Muhammad's land." So they zipped through time and had a fun evening. Time traveling takes the breath away and overloads the mind, but rarely does it ever change a false prophet's mind.
Our esteemed prophet man had won many battles in the name of Allah. His men quickly approached and told of their desires. "You see, sir, we're far away from our wives. We get so horny, we need to get a release. So why don't you let us have just a little day to have some fornicating fun?" Some fornicating fun. And Muhammad didn't rebuke them, oh no. In fact, he had a new idea, an idea called muta marriage. So he gathered his companions for all to hear the word of Allah, the word from heaven above, or so he thought. It was supernatural, at least. You all can eat your cake and keep it too, for I've got just the solution for you. The truth revealed by the angel allows for temporary marriage. Go the nearest brothel and have a fun night, but be sure to pay her. It's the only way to make it right. To make it right. Apparently Mo had never heard of prostitution, aside from adult websites online. For in Mo's mind, this was the perfect solution. A deviant god, convened to his own will, bending to his machinations and swallowing the submission pill. For he turned the world into his brothel, and his followers his whores. some fornicating malice. Oh, oh, no. Apparently Mo had never heard of prostitution, aside from idle websites online, where Mo's madness was the perfect solution. A deviant's God convenient to his own will, bending to his machinations and swallowing the submission pill. For he turned the world into his bubble and his followers his whores. To have some fornicating funs.
Mo heard and tried to thwart the plans of the Quraysh, for he learned of a caravan carrying their supplies. But Mo knew that this was something he had to deny, so he sent a detachment on an intercept course. They captured the caravan, and that's when things took a turn for the worse. The Quraysh didn't take this too lightly, you see. Mo would be the mercy, killing for all of their plans and designs. But he knew a large battle was coming, though the war had just begun. The conflict would start here, at the Battle of Badr, where the courageous Quraysh assembled against the messenger of Allah, in defiance of a future that awaited, a future of enslavement. And so Mo sat back and started composing some letters to a few low-status figures, including the Byzantine emperor, inviting them to the party, inviting them to Islam. The emperor couldn't stop laughing when he heard the new message. How could any be so crazy? How could they be so dumb? Islam could have ended right then and there at the Battle of Badr. There was this one chance to destroy evil forever, but the minds of men are easily corrupted. First there was 3 against 3 in single combat. The Muslims arose covered in blood, and then the charge began and swords flung through the air. They left no man standing. The Quraysh all were dead. A pain that increases, but somewhere heard on the wind, was a voice of reason, gone far away. For darkness would fall and consume minds with bitter hatred. Completely, blood-spilled changes one. Once you kill someone, there's no going back. The final heart attack, its victim unsuspecting, the victim of might storms unrelenting. There was this one chance to destroy evil forever, but the minds of men are easily corrupted. First there was 3 against 3 in single combat. The Muslims arose covered in blood, and then the charge began and swords flung through the air. They left no man standing. The Quraysh all were dead. There was this one chance to destroy evil forever, but the minds of men are easily corrupted. First there was 3 against 3 in single combat. The Muslims arose covered in blood, and then the charge began and swords flung through the air. They left no man standing. The Quraysh all were dead. The Quraysh all were dead. A pain that increases, but somewhere heard on the wind, was a voice of reason, gone far away. For darkness would fall and consume minds with bitter hatred. Completely, blood spilt changes one. Once you kill someone, there's no going back. The final heart attack, its victim unsuspecting, the victim of night storms unrelenting. There was this one chance to destroy evil forever, but the minds of men are easily corrupted. First there was 3 against 3 in single combat. The Muslims arose covered in blood, and then the charge began and swords flung through the air. They left no man standing.
and the war dragged on. And every good battle needs a sequel. The courageous assembled once again, striving for a world free from Allah. For war was spiritual and the sword is mighty. Its clenched fist wields it with passion and falls down, destroying families. Power that eliminates what is good leaves truth only memory. Leaves truth only a memory. Brings nightmares experienced, waking up screaming. Executions without burials, but only bodies are burned. History written by the victors, pillaging and burning, destroying all in their path. But at Uhud the victory was indecisive. The fate of the world in the hands of liars who enact the death penalty are those who question. The true hypocrites are the ones who follow without question. Only bodies are burned. History written by the victors, building and burning, destroying all in their path. But afterward the victory was indecisive. The fate of the world in the hands of liars who were not called liars. Enact the penalty on those who question. The true hypocrites are the ones who follow without question. A man who says he has messages from above, he will not lead you to paradise. With him there can be no compromise. No glowing path to victory was indecisive. The fate of the world in the hands of liars who enact the death penalty on those who question. The true hypocrites are the ones who follow without question. The man who says he has messages from above, he will not lead you to paradise. With him there can be no compromise. No glowing path to victory. Only death, only burial of true ideals. And we will weep forever when we bury the hallelujah. Surrendering to darker thoughts that harden souls and fester forever in the minds of those who lead the salon. And fester forever in the minds of those who lead the salon. But true prayer happens at midnight. True prayer is led by the stars, leading to Christ who made them and all things you and I, designed in their place of salvation. Nothing in this universe was placed by God out of place, and God did not make death. But death comes from those who love it. Be armored bodies marching through towns, imposing their order, false worship and invitations to submission to the darkness under the lash of dash. away from the grace that has fled this place. But we shall no longer weep, not forever, because under the black banner of war, torment reigns, but truth will echo the light. Heaven will bow before its glow. Turn your face, my child, from the darkness that claws into our sides. Turn your face from that book and open your eyes to grace. Taste and see the gifts from above, the triumph of passion, the gardens of our adventure that we dream of in these desert storms. But find a way through, come and dream of the sunlight. Its gust will shroud you. But death comes from those who love it. The armored bodies marching through towns, imposing their order, false worship, and invitations to submission to the darkness under the lash of dash. Away from the grace that has fled this place. But we shall no longer weep, not forever, because under the black banner of war, torment reigns. The truth will echo the light. Heaven will bow before its glow. Turn your face, my child, from the darkness that claws into our sides. Turn your face from that book and open your eyes to grace. Taste and see the gifts from above, the triumph of passion, the gardens of our adventure that we dream of in these desert storms. But find a way through, come and dream of the sunlight. Its gust will shroud you.
The treaty was broken in Muhammad's land. A new day dawning, all going as planned. Muhammad gathered up all his advisors, and then gathered an army and marched toward Mecca. A festering of emotions in Mo's heart, a calling toward war, a dawn of a new power, assembling together to seize the future. Baloney sandwich in hand, for soon Arabia would all be Muhammad's land. But when they arrived for Mecca's gates, there was no resistance, but they threw down their arms. Offered no resistance, but threw down their arms. Entered the city with a smirk on his face, baloney sandwich in hand, and stuffed it in everyone's mouth. They all ate it up and sung gentle songs like Kumbaya, and walked around holding hands, the Kaaba's black stone. This was the path of the future in Muhammad's land. It was a moment of victory, but there was still a cloud over Muhammad that shrouded him in mystery. Somewhere in that dark, no one can see a world of bustling fires in a heart that overflows.
was a moment of victory, but there was still a cloud over Muhammad that shrouded him in mystery. Somewhere in that dark, no one can see a world of bustling fires in a heart that overflows.
I seem to have fallen ill to a fever after being poisoned by a Jew. Who would have known that the severing of my aorta would come just as I promised? Coincidence, I think. If I were a false prophet, it would surely be severed.
You inspired us, so seal this tragic end. We all will cry like those mourning the death of King Jong-un. There will be one more angel in heaven. You don't want us to mourn, just to carry on the message and make them pay.
Sing Allahu Akbar, sing a hymn for the stars, to guide him on his final night journey. And we will gather together. The seal is lost, but the revelations are spreading. His final message for us was one of hope for bologna sandwiches, not only tasty, but offer us a path to paradise above, where revelations lead. All reason cast aside for the wisdom of a whole new religion. The revelations silent, but they echo here in their whispers as we lead our armies out of control to conquer those who stood in our way. The world shall be dominated by the message of simplicity. But don't think too hard, and when the going gets tough, the tough get up again. So we bid farewell to this puppet man. Infidels will burn forever in hell for denying this message. Our eyes on the stars as we sing Allahu Akbar. Takbir, and don't forget to lend your parting submission. For the burning in the bosom shall take reason's place. Any dream will do. The mysteries of prophethood would find its reprise in the arms of the Salafis. Allah will rise. Allahu Akbar. Deep in a hidden chamber somewhere in hell, amidst the bright flames roar, a figure figure sat at his desk on the fiery floor. A masked figure in front of a computer screen. The monitor flickered as he watched the scene unfolding before him. Muhammad's followers shouting takbir, they relished in their victory, saying they had nothing to fear. Oh, what a game, a perfect play. Welcome to hell's deception show. Did you think the revelations were all divine? Oh, how I laugh at the fools who strayed from the light. The truth is a joke to those who tumble into hell. I whispered words and led them astray. Made them believe they were at heaven's gate, but alas, it was I who planted the seed of lust for power, of greed that eternally grows. The greatest trick, the one no one knows. He gripped the monitor and started to drool at the sight of their steadfast faith, bowing to Allah. Blind to what he fed them, they had a fatal flaw. Praise be to the blind belief, for I fed them lies and brought them grief. They played along, never questioned the tale, and now they are lost beyond the veil. You see, my friends, I planted a seed, gave them some delusions in their hour of need. It is in this fact that the real fun begins, for Mo couldn't resist the sin or save himself from my fate. His followers thought they found heaven's gates, for he laughed at the screen, his voice low and clear. I sit here laughing as I take off my Gabriel mask. I'll tell you my name so you know who to blame, for it wasn't just Satan who had his fun. No, the master of tricks is a far darker one. My name is Paimon, and you taste my name in your heart, for I follow your steps like shrieks in the dark. The fires meanwhile will always grow, the greatest trick no one knows. No one could beat me in my unholy game. When you meet your demise, remember my name. My name.